guys, this is Jayme with Successful-ish, and really quick, I just want to give you all an update of where we are in our bankroll. After betting on the Bucks and the amazing Tom Brady, our bankroll grew from $1,000 to an impressive $1,048. We were going to place a spread bet, but ultimately decided to pull away from that and instead bet the money line. I think I told you guys, I'm really aware that I've been getting lucky with my bets, and that by betting on Tom Brady and the popular side of the bets, we would most likely be in a position to win. Well, we did win. Since the Super Bowl, we haven't had any of our bets covered. We've made 2 bets this week and neither one of them hit. However, we did have a process behind the bets, so I feel confident that even though the bets didn't cover, there was a process and a logic behind them. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bets I made last week and see what happened.
An absolute staple of San Diego culture is taco shops. We are gonna go check out Los Primos Mexican food taco shop. Obligatory beer and a couple of adobada tacos. And I'm sitting here contemplating my options, if you will. It's what the big players do, so what am I missing here? Am I just doing bonehead trades? Do I not have enough money? Pain in the ass, whatever it is.
Lunch? Oh, you gotta be kidding. Lunch is for wimps.
What a day. What a day. Plan was to make some money on the hype of cannabis stocks that are really popular right now. Right now, I'm not really feeling very good about that plan, and here's why. If your option expires on the 3rd Friday of the month, as your contract gets closer and closer and closer to expiration, it loses value. So there's the time value that's associated with each of these contracts, and it's just not looking as good as I'd hoped.
It's Sunday morning. We're gonna play some poker today, and we're gonna prepare for a long day of success by getting a bunch of food now, so that at 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., I'm not suddenly starving and going, oh my God, how do I continue to grind? Groceries purchased, we're back at the house, ready to play some poker. We are looking through what's available to play today. Again, we're looking for tournaments that cost between $2-ish to enter and about $15-ish on the very high end, though mostly like $5 or $6. We're able to find a smattering of places to play today. We're able to 6-table most of the day. This hand comes up against Jeff Boski, famous YouTuber and poker professional. Keep in mind this is a $2 tournament where I get to shove all in with ace-6 offsuit, and he, because the math works out one way or another, ends up having to call with ace-8 offsuit, and in a fun turn of luck we get to double through famous Jeff Boski, a pivotal moment in our career.
As of right now, I am set up to fail miserably. That is the conclusion I've come to, and I've come to it pretty easily, seeing as how I haven't had a ton of success in this at all. I am fearful that I'm going to lose my entire investment in this project and that I am going to fail miserably. So what you can expect from me next is probably me trying to educate myself on how not to lose my ass. So watch this. It's called face tracking. Come on, take off. Go get it, man. Go get it. I'm almost positive that I have the worst performance out of all participants in this project. I don't really feel good about the future right now. Like I cannot, if I put money out there today or tomorrow,
and it's gone.
It's purely guesswork because this is so hard.
The first bet we made last week was on the 76ers and Trailblazers. We took the 76ers at -5.5 points. I chose this game to bet on due to it being televised on TNT, and honestly because I really just wanted to bet. I didn't do my due diligence, but I felt like it was a good bet. And in fact, the 76ers were covering the spread up until the fourth quarter when the Trailblazers ended up taking over. The second game we bet last week was the Cavs and 76ers. We bet the under 221.5. We chose this bet because when we were looking at all of the action, we noticed that 32% of the players were responsible for 62% of the money being wagered on the side of the under. In addition, we saw one or two sports books move the line from 221.5 to 222, indicating reverse line movement. The amount of money wagered on both sides evened out more, and the value we thought that was initially there really wasn't. However, in the end, the bet didn't pan out and the game score was 229. What I initially got really excited about ended up probably just being early bettors figuring things out, and ultimately I don't believe I would make this bet again.
One of the things that Chris and Jayme and now Kaleb are all doing that I have basically ignored at this point is some formal training, whether it's reading a book or watching some YouTube videos or some combination of those. They're trying to learn their trade. Now granted, I think I'm trying to learn my trade too, but I've kind of just been like educating myself on the types of trades and then just trying to source companies by news and hype. And I don't think that's necessarily the best strategy. So what I need to do next is focus on some training. I think that that's going to really be the recipe to success. I've got a really good foundation right now. I feel like I'm really close to just like banging out some trades and just executing them and knocking them down, Training is going to be the name of the game, and just learning it and getting better at it. And what's coming up next is not only the training, but what's coming up for me this week is getting out of the options that expire, limiting our losses on the trades that we have gotten into. I'd like to get out of those. And then I'd like to figure out a good plan moving forward to select the options that we're going to get into. But our plan really hasn't been developed yet, so we need to develop it. Hasn't been developed yet, so we need to continue doing that to get it going.
We have 11 people left in this tournament. It's a 9-person final table. So we are 2 away from making the final table. I'm gonna fold here. It's been quite a grindy Sunday. We've been at it for about 5 hours. This is not the biggest tournament in the world. It was only like $3 to enter, but we're gonna be at a final table here shortly, and assuming we don't get very unlucky. These right here, these Saffron Road, these are really good. They're super good, but these deep ones are even better than the Saffron Road ones. All right, we have made our first final table of the show. The last 9 people. Very exciting, very, very exciting. We're gonna try to win this thing and close it out. That's gonna give us a huge bump in the bankroll for sure. So let's see what happens. We actually enter this final table as the chip leader. As you can see, we have almost 38 big blinds. Everybody has less than that. Right away, this guy gets eliminated with jacks versus ace queen, and we're down to 8 people. So an odd thing kind of takes place. The guy here, Sleepy Monkey on the left, picks up a pile of chips and does exactly what you're supposed to. He just puts a ton of pressure on everybody else. I'm never in a great spot to fight back. We end up really disappointingly being forced to get all in with pocket 6s against him here in a second. And we are knocked out by his 9-10. So really not a great result for chip leader at the final table to end up knockout in 6th. But that's how it goes sometimes. We learn some lessons, and we're going to get him next time.
All right, so let me tell you, this is the plan. We've invested some money and got some educational products. And there's not going to be a trade this week from me. Like I said before, I'm not doing it. I'm going to waste the capital if I make another trade right now. Next week, that's something different altogether. I'll be able to tell you guys all about what I've been learning. Go ahead and look up parabolic SAR, stop and reverse. Parabolic stop and reverse. If you want a little sneak peek into what I'm learning about. It's a key method into, being, trying to be predictive with patterns in the stock market. I'm about 5 hours into an 8-hour course, and it is still tough. I am watching, then going to Google and researching what a lot of words mean, and then coming back and watching some more. It's a very long process. That's where we're at in Kaleb world. I'm down but not out. My plan is we'll have a whole plan. It's gonna be great. You'll love it.
I know I keep mentioning this book I'm reading. It's called The Everything Guide to Sports Betting, and it's by a guy named Applebaum. But it's really helped me out. Even though I lost my 2 bets from the previous week, I followed a system. Well, I followed a system with my second bet. My first bet was made out of sheer FOMO, and because I miss Vegas, I don't know, what do you want me to say? But right now, we're gonna take the pup outside. Contrarian betting is when a bettor bets against the public. And new vocab word. We call this fading the public. When you bet against the public, you're fading the public. Make sense? Good. We want to increase our odds of winning with contrarian betting, and we do this by implementing a few different strategies. At least for now, the plan is to become as much of a GTO contrarian sports bettor as possible. If the data from the action indicates we should make a bet, we will. And obviously, with March Madness coming up, we are in the perfect position to make that contrarian bet and fade the public.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to set an order to get out of some of these trades. The minute that there's a profit, we're gonna make sure to see if those orders can get executed. What I've caught myself doing on more than one occasion, you actually saw this last week when I got super greedy on those weekly options in GameStop. I had the opportunity to turn a profit, but I did listen to myself and I ended up losing everything.
And it's gone.
What? Part of having a plan is executing the plan and removing emotions. Having said that, it is way easier said than done, and this is one of the hardest things. So let's go put those limit orders in. To recap, what we have done today is we have executed a trade to buy 4 contracts of the $10 April 16th puts. I don't know if I'm saying that in the correct order. $10 strike price, expiration of April 16th, and we bought puts. 4 times 4. I hope that makes sense to you guys.
Jonesboro is experiencing some weather right now. It's a little snowy. We're gonna play some more poker today. We did pretty well yesterday. We did not show a profit for the day, but we did make a final table. We got close to winning a tournament. We're gonna do even better today. We've got internet, we've got power. We're gonna kill it at the tables. We're gonna play some cards, as mentioned. First, we're gonna talk about what our new study plan is gonna be real quick. I got this book. I know I've gotten a book before, but I got a new book. It's this book. It's got like homework in it, like you're doing schoolwork or something like this. I know that probably doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but I spent a lot of time in school. That learning style appeals to me for whatever reason. So I'm excited to get into it. I'm gonna do at least a couple lessons a day. It says in the beginning of the book that you wanna spend some time on it every single day until the book's done. So I'm gonna do that and I'll show you guys the schedule I'm gonna follow. But that is for tomorrow. Today, we're gonna crush some tournaments real quick. Let's get to another final table. We end up playing 8 total tournaments and actually run really deep in 5 of them. But right here, where we get 9th and miss the final table just barely, is brutal. That was a really rough one. Ace-King suited is a pretty big favorite over Ace-Queen offsuit. We would have had a huge pile of chips going into a final table, but instead we missed the final table by 1. Just gotta love tournament poker. But again, we're almost there. We're knocking on the door. We're getting better. It's gonna happen.
We've got to celebrate any success when you have a week like I did last week, where I got totally murdered on UVXY because I'm stupid and uneducated at what I'm doing. So I spent all last week trying to brush up on some pointers, some skills, just basic knowledge that I don't have, making me massively unsuccessful at this hustle. But I learned a lot about support and resistance, and somewhat like learning how to chart in parabolic SAR. Stuff's very complicated for me. I mean, there might be some people out there that can absorb it pretty quick, but this is not easy. Hope you can see this, but the line of support and resistance, this shows where this certain security's been trading, BORR. Kilo, please go away.
Kilo, come here.
So anyways, yes, whatever. I bought this thing on a low. I bought this stock on a low. I bought it and it was 133 when I bought it, and I sold out today at 156. And that's pretty much all I've got for you. Cross your fingers. I made a little bit of money. I think I'm sitting around like 813 now, total cash after my losses. So
Here, you see it? He loses it every time.
Go ahead, put the tally down. I got 1-2 combos on me, moving like I'm Pacquiao. Pull up in a foreign whip, have foreign bitches freaking out. Got them pulling phones out when they see me hopping out. Fly around, Cali bound. I don't do relationships cause I know they can't hold me down. Making moves in Louis V, I step around the tan and brown. Keep my head above the rim, I'm ballin' like I'm Shannon Brown. We the ones that's ballin' now, yeah. Celebrate the VIP, we mixing up the